Imagine your office cafeteria suddenly buzzing, not from the free cookies, but because someone just clicked Submit Report on the company ethics portal. The question lingers: is the business about to bless your integrity or launch an internal crisis control plan? Whisperers become bloggers. In 2024, captured a staggering 2.15 million whistleblowing and incident reports from more than 4,000 organizations, encompassing nearly 70 million employees. That's the largest dataset the industry has ever seen. Businesses around the globe logged a median of 1.57 reports per 100 employees, the same as in 2023, confirming a sustained global transparency trend. Interestingly, reporting via web-based forms overtook traditional hotline calls for the first time, reflecting employees' growing preference for online anonymity. When geography meets morality. Turns out, ethics knows a zip code. Whistleblowing cultures differ wildly depending on where you're clocking in. In North America, employees submitted around 1.75 or 1.78, depending on who's counting, reports per 100 employees, solid and steady. Meanwhile, Europe lagged with just 0.67, though that's actually a leap from 0.49 the year before, which suggests people are either getting braver or running out of patience. Asia-Pacific averages hovered at 0.78, but South America? They blew the whistle like it was a competitive sport, 0.97 reports per 100 employees. These numbers say a lot about more than just personal courage. They reflect local laws, cultural openness, and how often the HR email goes unanswered. So while some regions are still whispering, others are practically live blogging their concerns. Anonymous by default, not by force. Globally, over half of reports, around 54%, were submitted anonymously, with regions like Europe, 65%, Asia-Pacific averages, 67%, and South America, 70%, showing especially high levels of anonymity. North America reported roughly 50–65% anonymity, revealing lingering fears among whistleblowers. Higher anonymous rates can be a red flag. It often points to cultural or structural issues that make employees uneasy about using named channels. Substantiation rate hits a high. Here's a stat worth celebrating with your compliance team's finest stale muffins. The global substantiation rate hit a record 46%, meaning nearly half of all closed reports revealed actual misconduct. That's not noise, that's real drama. In the US, substantiation stood at 45%, while Europe edged slightly higher at 47%, making it basically a tie in the yes, something shady did happen department. Private companies were the real MVPs here, with some hitting 50% substantiation, compared to about 43% for public firms. Either private orgs are better at vetting, or public ones are better at paperwork denial. Either way, a 46% global rate means the odds of crying wolf are much lower than people think. Complaints up, but proven few. Retaliation complaints are inching up like that mystery smell in the office fridge, now sitting at a median of 3.08% in 2024, up from 2.84%. But here's the twist. Only 18% of those complaints are being substantiated compared to the 46% average for all case types. Translation? Either retaliation is sneakier than a passive-aggressive Slack message, or it's not being investigated thoroughly enough. Europe confirmed 32% of retaliation cases, well above North America's 17%, with APAC landing at 28%, meaning some regions are catching more than others. Meanwhile, the Ethics and Compliance Initiative found that 46% of employees feel they were retaliated against after speaking up. So yeah, there's a serious disconnect between perception and proof, and companies need to bridge that credibility canyon fast. Investigation timelines, speed matters, and no one likes waiting weeks to find out if their report was taken seriously. In North America, Companies close cases in about 19 days on average. Not bad. But across the pond in Europe, the median time jumps to 69 days, and Asia-Pacific averages 56 days. But it's not just the case closure time. Reporters in Europe and Asia-Pacific averages took 12 to 13 days from incident to initial report, while North Americans acted faster, reporting in just 8 days. Bottom line? The longer the delay, the more anxiety brews, and the more likely employees start wondering if their complaint went into a black hole behind the legal team's espresso machine. Why companies take reports seriously. Companies really care, because sweeping ethics issues under the rug usually leads to stepping on a legal landmine. The fallout? Think multi-million-dollar fines. Hello, 2.9B penalty for Goldman Sachs and 1MDB, reputational ruin, employee exodus, and even executive orange jumpsuits. According to the 2023 DOJ guidelines, having a robust compliance program, including whistleblower systems, can be a saving grace, even reducing potential penalties. Companies are also now being judged on how they use tech, AI, and data analytics to spot risk patterns. So yes, your algorithm might save the company right after recommending cat videos. The message? Take reports seriously, or the SEC, DOJ, and Twitter mob certainly will. How good companies do it. Great companies don't just slap up a dusty Speak Up poster in the break room. They roll out web portals, hotlines, and yes, even chatbots. Whistleblower report showed 57% of reports now come through digital channels, with web portals leading the charge. Because nothing says, I care about ethics, like reporting misconduct between coffee sips at your desk. Training? It's not that compliance comedy video from 2017. Good firms run refreshers every year or quarter, showing employees how to report and what happens next. High substantiation rates, 40% plus for retaliation reports per ECI, show companies take these seriously. And when leaders model integrity, ethics becomes contagious in a good way, unlike that mysterious fridge smell. Why the middle 80% decide everything? Forget the cartoon villain execs or rogue interns. Real risk lives in the ethical gray zone, and 80% of employees are tiptoeing through it daily. Only 13% of global employees say they work in a strong ethical culture, which means most folks are just trying to figure out if forwarding that questionable meme counts as a reportable offense. But when leaders set the tone and promote psychological safety, that middle 80% transforms from risk to resource. They become everyday defenders of integrity. Think Jedi, but with Excel instead of lightsabers. What happens after the report? Once a report comes in and checks out, it's go time. Think policy tweaks, HR conversations, sometimes security escorting someone out with a suspiciously fast box packup. Compliance, legal, and HR teams huddle up like an ethics Avengers squad to ensure corrective action fits the issue. Good companies also close the loop, updating reporters on progress. This matters. Found that when employees are left in the dark post-report, trust in the system tanks. Plus, smart firms use the lessons to upgrade systems, whether it's adding AI tools to flag anomalies or delivering how not to be a creep in meetings training. All this feeds back into the DOJ's expectation for continuous improvement. It's like ethics composting, turning old trash into future accountability. And there you have it. Whistleblowing in the workplace isn't just about secret tips and silent alarms. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay ethical, and remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do at work is report the weird stuff. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.